Here, so nerdisms galore, everybody. We've got DTG Start, who's actually FXO.Lucky. So we have Korean professional FXO.Lucky against dKiller, the once amazing, awesome person. I don't know if I said once. He is amazing. He's awesome. He's always will be. He's Killer, the yellow Zerg at the top right. We're playing on GSL Daybreak for the first game of this quarterfinals in the North American Zotac Cup, number 35. It is great to be here.
It absolutely is. That's zanderfeverSC. This is his channel that you're watching all this exciting stuff on, and I'm Red Mage JR. And yeah, getting into the action right here, we saw this, Series 1, we just saw so much great action there from Sleep as his Zerg player, but watching Start so far, looks like he's gonna pull the extractor trick. He's gonna do what normal Zerg do when they play on this particular map, and it's gonna be all up to Killer to see if he's going to do the exact same thing right on the up and up. When you're playing a mirror matchup, there's so many things you can try to do to try to outwit your opponent, but it's all going to come down to hitting those crisp timings, getting your army into the right position, and especially on this map, being able to kind of modify where you're going to go strategically. If you're going to go to the right, is he going to go to the left? Is he going to go in and out of all the little switchbacks, and how are you going to deal with all that? So it's going to be very interesting to see the calculating mind that we have going on here.
Yeah, and Lucky actually sent out a very early drone scout. He is seriously looking out for those early pools. He may want to get a hatchery first down, make sure it's safe. He does, actually, well, yeah, it's more than he may want to. He does want to, as he's got the hatchery down first now. So you do see Killer going for just a pool extractor, not the extractor pool, so you won't have a super fast metabolic boost. However, this could be one of a few things. Theoretically, you could throw down a really fast baneling nest and have speedless lings at the front turn to banelings incredibly quickly, or you could be just going in for a expansion and then just move into a normal macro game with a delayed gas at first.
Right, and either method could work. It's just going to come down to, again, what they see, how they interpret it, how they feel about this map, how they feel they can exploit the topography of it, and what they can really do. It looks like we're going to see dKiller is going to probably go out and take his expansion here at this point, seeing that there is the expansion down on the other side of the field for Start.
Yes, metabolic boost has now begun for Killer. And, oh my god, more food. Oh, thank you.
Did you just get more food brought in? That's amazing.
This is so good. Okay, this is why I don't want to. I don't want to go back to college when I forecast it, because I get so much food. It's great. But let's go back to StarCraft. We got metabolic boost going down for Killer. Oh my god, it smells so good. So now Lucky over here is getting out some lings, and I really want to eat that.
I'm just looking at it from here, and it looks delicious.
Yeah, it's some weird potato thing that looks delicious and seasoned and really good.
A potato thing? I think you were right though about the banelings though with the Zerglings, because we've already seen the baneling nest go down now for Killer. So he could be looking to put on that advanced pressure right there onto Lucky, and force him to either start to make roaches or start to tech up a little bit faster, and that can put him a little bit further behind, giving Killer just a little bit of an edge.
Yeah, I mean, the relationship of hatchy first versus non-hatch first is one of the most fascinating things about ZVZ in terms of analysis. Like right now, we can see that Killer will have a faster metabolic boost and be aggressive with straight lings. However, the ramp is being covered by Lucky, and all he has to do is make sure that this hatchery stays alive, and he'll be in a essentially good position, assuming he doesn't lose too many drones. While we do see in the back, Killer is basically fading pressure and droning up behind this, so he may be able to actually surpass Lucky in economy if he plays this correctly and forces Lucky to stay away from his natural expansion mining. As you can see that Killer does have a lead in the
Exactly, and that's sometimes one missed opportunity. There's a lot of people think that if I'm not going to go out there and be able to force a cancel or force a GG right off the bat, I'm not going to try to apply that much pressure. I just want to I want to get a big enough army and kind of end the game, But when you go out there and you just kind of keep your enemy in the base for just a little bit longer, for just a few seconds, sometimes that can give you such a huge advantage. We see Killer already kind of bulking up just a little bit there. while Lucky is kind of just back there in his base. He wasn't able to go out and get more map control. He wasn't able to do a lot of things on the field until Killer was kind of ready for him. And now Lucky's trying to push up a little bit into the main ramp, and Killer's got a little bit bigger of a force there. Now he's able to push out and confine Lucky back into his own base.
And Killer is getting a pretty fast layer, and so is Lucky. This is a really odd ZVZ.
Yeah, they're bulking up pretty quick.
I think they're going for a Muta race, to be honest. We see Killer with 4 gases, as is Lucky. They're basically neck and neck with their builds. I mean, somehow Lucky is slightly ahead in the food count. He's in 3 drones. And with these players basically mimicking the builds, that could actually be the make or break of this game, is with the fact that Lucky's got a little slight lead in the drones. Yeah,
this is like the Cold War of StarCraft 2, but it looks like they're both taking the roads less traveled, 1 Spire and 1 Infestation Pit. Killer going for the Infestation Pit. Yeah, very interesting. One could easily disable the other depending on what upgrades they take for those, because if you leave the Infestors out, those Mutalisks are just going to rake them. But if you're able to get the Burrow, I don't know, might be able to do some significant damage.
Yes, they're really good. The fungals are going to be so key, especially if the Mutas decide to bunch up to try and be able to micro. Then if you land a fungal and a bunch up group of mutas, that's essentially game right there, considering the investment that those mutas really are. But both these players are trying to take their third. But Killer may force the cancel. Nope, a couple wings are going to come into play, and that should be enough. We see, yeah, reinforcement wings. That's going to be forcing Killer back now.
Yeah, but good enough to kind of let him know that, hey, I'm on the field. I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to pull off. And it's not like his isn't getting seen by the same thing, because Lucky is being very smart, very active with those overloads, moving them back and forth, trying to check things out. And it looks like Lucky is going to go ahead and lose that forward advanced Zerg column that he had to a reinforcement there by Killer. He's going to move back in and try to force the hatchery to be canceled. But with that Baneling,
what? Killer lets 5 lings go down, but Hydra Dent was built by Killer. So going for a Hydra Infestor. That is he might be going for like a Ling Hydra Infestor type of thing, because I can't imagine any other armor composition he can go for and not just die.
Yeah, it's interesting. This is an interesting ZVZ matchup. I gotta say that it's interesting. And now Lucky's moving in to try to force Killer, back into his main base. He's gonna try to take down this hatch as quickly as possible. Down below 500 right now. The Infestors finally coming up. Fungal growth going down, but that's not gonna be enough. He is gonna lose that hatch, and that is huge for Killer.
Oh, if he had just gone for something more typical like speed roaches, he would have gotten down there in time. So let's see how it's going to add up. You can see that Lucky's basically using this third for almost purely gas income right now. That's what he's put most of his drones to. He's just now bringing in a few drones, but let's take a look at the income. You can see how vastly in favor of Lucky it is.
It's usually in favor, and I like what Lucky's doing here. He's moving Spine Crawlers up to the top to try to defend that. He's not going to try to push that army up there anymore. And now it's just going to be a smack dab street fight here. We got Infestors, we've got Lings, we've got Roaches, we got all kinds of stuff, and we're just going to see just a knockdown, drag out fight here in the middle.
Yeah, and we're going to see a single Hydra going to try and take down the Overseer. Ooh, got fungled. That's a nice little move, as the Overseer will be falling. And Red Mage is lagging. Oh no, Red Mage.
Oh no!
Oh wait, you're back.
Okay. Let me close down the stream here, just in case that's slowing me up a little bit there.
Yep.
There we go. So I won't be able to talk to the chat anymore, but it's for the good of the players there. I hate it when I lag up the players, because it makes me feel bad.
Oh, it's the worst feeling ever.
I know. As a caster, when you do something like that, you're like, oh no.
It's rough, but now we are seeing that Lucky has a very nice count of units. If you look at the drone count, he's got 65, the Killer is 53, and right now there's a lot of Hydras moving forward. Ling, Hydra, Infestor. Oh, I feel good for being right. However, I'm kind of worried for Killer, because I don't know how well his competition is actually going to work. But there's a nice fungal, very nice fungal. There are 5 Infestors out with actually a fair amount of energy, so if they can really get those fungals down, it might be enough to get this into his favor, especially considering the Roaches of of Lucky don't have as much range as those Hydras, but the Infestor count actually favors Lucky too, and that is icky. But 13 drones were actually just in production for Killer. Wow.
Wow, he's trying to bulk that economy up pretty bad, but you know, lots of ups going down for Lucky right now. So he's trying to get those. He's trying to get a little bit more of a bulk to go along with that army that he's being able to push out right there. He's also, you know, putting out a lot of overlords. So he's definitely looking to make sure that that army can keep producing. He's not going to try to get supply blocked at any time, but he's also putting out more and more Hydralisks. This is going to be interesting to see if Killer can hold this off.
Yep, and looks like the creep turret will get targeted down. This is something that I've always found interesting, is whether or not players spread creep in ZVZ, as it's so key for Hydras, but it benefits the other opponent as well. It's always fascinating to see who decides to and who decides not to. But a fourth base is actually being taken by Killer with this rich Vespene Geyser, which is the most important thing for him right now, to have 3 drones able to mine 6 Vespene Geyser per pop. It's incredibly violent. But why did he leave 2 Hydras to control that watchtower? Killer, that is
interesting.
that is one of the most expensive and vulnerable at the exact same time watchtower holds I've ever seen.
And now we're going to see these destructible rocks in the center fall to Lucky with the armies on both sides, and now the waiting game goes forward. It's like that scene in Big Trouble in Little China where they're standing in the alleyway inside the truck, and they're waiting to see who's going to go first. And looks like it's going to be Lucky to initiate the whole thing, and Killer just throwing down infested Terrans, fungal growths, and everything is just in a flurry of spit and just carapace is being blown apart absolutely everywhere. My God, the armies are just dwindling down on either side. More fungal growths go down from Lucky, but yeah, dKiller came out on the bad end of that. It was forced to GG in game 1.
So game number 2 in a moment, guys.